Dear students, today I am going to teach you methods of early nationalist. The method of the early nationalist, popularly known as constitutional method. What do you mean by this one? Means meeting will be held, resolution will be passed, resolution will be given to British government, officials, British Crown, and British civil societies. Dear students, I have taught you in previous lecture. Dada Bhai Nehruji had established East India Association, and I have also taught that what was the main objective of East India Association, which was founded by Dada Bhai Nehruji. Dada Bhai Nehruji wanted to communicate the grievances, the plight, the bad conditions of Indians to British civil society. Why I am telling this one? Because in Britain, many intellectuals groups were there, many social societies were there, and Dada Bhai Nehruji wanted to communicate the plight of Indians before the civil societies of England. And finally, his target was there that they will make pressure on Parliament, and finally, Parliament will take some measures to sort out the plight of Indians. So, and I have one more point I have taught. Who were the founder member of the Indian National Congress? They are known as early nationalist leader. So their method, there are two methods are there. First one, constitutional agitation method, point number 1, and second one, 3P. So let me teach one by one. First one, I am going to teach you constitutional agitation method, followed by early nationalists. They believe in the policy of constitutional agitation, retain the legal framework, and slow orderly political progress. The method adopted by the early nationalists had two objectives. First setup method, and then second setup method. One by one I am going to teach you. The first objective was to educate people in India in modern politics. What do you mean by this one? Means first target was there, how to create political awareness, political sensibility, political enlightenment amongst the Indian, meaning what is the rights of each and every citizen, what is civil liberty, what is fundamental rights, and it is necessary to know that the right to expression should be restored, and media should be, press should be free, means no restrictions on press. So these things, okay, should be there. So they wanted to create political awareness amongst the society. They held a meeting where speeches were made and resolutions for popular demand were passed. What do you mean by popular demand? Many times I have taught you. Popular demand means that demand will be very, very necessary for each and every person. Means all segments of Indian society wanted that one popular. Like suppose, two example I'll give you, then you'll understand. Suppose I am going to teach you, I am giving one example, that irrigation facility or reducing land revenue system, land revenue rate. So that will be popular demand. Means that is very necessary for each and every person. All people will happy when this type of demand will be done by, okay, Indian, any political organization. The Indian National Congress had done like this one. Now they made use of the press to criticize government policy. Now they sent memorandum and petition to the government officials and the British Parliament. These petitions were carefully drafted with the fact and argument, meaning all rational approach adopted. How? Suppose any newspaper is there, published in Ireland, and suppose कि demanded about civil liberty means criticized, suppose government has done anything wrong and that newspaper criticized this one, so that type of memorandum they had given and they quoted that one. Through these petitions were addressed to the government, their real aim was to educate the Indian people. Second set of method, the second objective of the early nationalists was to influence the British government and the British public. To achieve the objective, they followed the following method. First one, they made up use of 3P. What do this very many times this question has been asked in your examination. 3P. First P means petition, second P means prayer, and third P means protest. Petition, prayer, protest. They sent petition, request, and letter of protest to the British government to look into the problems of the Indians. The British Committee on the Indian National Congress was set up in London in 1889, which published the weekly journal India to present India's case before the British public, meaning one weekly newspaper, weekly journal, not newspaper, weekly journal entitled India, okay, published there, and when target was there to expose, to communicate the real plight of Indians, means what is the real condition of the Indians, that weekly journals will published. Now, deputation of the Indian leaders were sent to the Britain. These political leaders carried on the active propaganda in Britain. For example, Dadabhai Naoroji spent major part of his life in Britain to create awareness among the British. Just I have taught this one. Now, achievements. What are the achievements of the early nationalists? Very important. Early nationalists created political awareness, national awareness, national and political sensibility, political enlightenment, and feeling of oneness amongst the society. The early nationalists trained people in politics by popularizing the idea of democracy, civil liberty, secularism, and nationalism. So, this is credit goes to early nationalists. Early nationalists did pioneer work to exposing the true nature of the British rule in India. What do you mean by this one? Colonial government is there, and the true nature of the colonial government is exploitation. And by press notes, by criticizing in media and print, in newspapers, okay, they expose the true nature of the British government. Means how many problems are there openly they have not told, but indirectly they have told. Means why Indians are facing problem, because of government is not taking concern. The political and economic programs established the truth that India must be ruled in the interest of the Indians. And 3 points are there. Appointment of the Public Service Commission. Credit goes to early nationalist. And a resolution in the House of Commons in 1893 for simultaneous examination for the ICSE in London and India. I have taught you this was the major demand of the Indian National Congress. They demanded that ICSE examination should be held simultaneously in India and England together. And finally, okay, this resolution has been introduced and passed in Parliament. Okay, so that is, this credit goes to early nationalist. And now, appointment of the Welbeck Commission on Indian expenditure. I have taught you, Indian National Congress demanded that many money, okay, British government is spending on army, artillery, okay, but government should invest money in public sector. Means government should provide welfare for the welfare for the people of India. Means government should invest money in education sector, healthcare sector, irrigation sector, okay, and government should boost up the trade and commerce. So in place of this one, government investing money on army and other places. So they demanded that ki government should invest money in that sector. So for, and they also, one more point I have taught you, they demanded for investigation. Means government should set up one investigation committee, and that committee will investigate that what is the reason of famine and poverty increased in India. So one inquiry committee is required, and finally what happened? Railway Commission was set up. And dear students, I would like to mention, one student also asked me today, Railway Commission. Railway Commission basically set up on the demand of early nationalist, and I would like to mention that ki Railway was the president or chairman of this commission, and William Wittenberg and Dada Bhai Nauroji, they were also there in that committee, and they communicated, okay, the Indian problems before the Railway Commission. And two more Indians names is very necessary to mention here. Gopal Krishna Gokhale and Dinesha Vacha also, okay, represented their issues before the Railway Commission. So dear student, today only this much, and next day I'll explain new topic, the prominent early nationalist leaders. Thank you.